Perfect. We are live. Okay, sometimes this streaming software is a little glitchy, but we are up and at him. So again, we're going to be talking about a topic, drugs. We're going to talk about what drugs people are taking, but in this case specifically, we're talking about amitriptyline. So if you're taking that for your back pain, or you've been prescribed it, or you're just wondering about like what are different things that people take for their back pain. I know there's all different drugs, so I have a whole set of videos on this. But what we're going to talk about is amitriptyline specifically for this conversation. Okay, so I want to provide some value for you, and what's what are the good things about taking this drug, and maybe what are the harmful things, or maybe the things you should be looking out for. Okay, so again, this is all informational. I'm not here to tell you to take the drug or not to take the drug. I'm just here to tell you what I know about it and how it might be able to help you, and if your doctor prescribes it to you, what the heck it is you're actually taking. Okay, so that's the goal of this conversation, is to get clarity on those parts of the journey, because everything we do in this back pain thing is a journey, because at the end of the day, we're just trying to heal our bodies, right? And that takes, sometimes it does take some drugs. Maybe we have to take some to get through a tough day, or maybe you know what, you're just in so much pain and you don't know what to do, right? And so you're like, let me take this for some relief. Let me do something that's going to provide me with some level of relief, and so that you can get back to healing your body. Okay, so that's the whole point of the conversation. So are you taking amitriptyline for chronic back pain and sciatica? Here's what you need to know before you start to rely on it as a long-term approach. Okay, amitriptyline essentially changes how your brain processes pain by increasing serotonin and norepinephrine levels. Okay, so these are obviously chemical things that are modified to bring you some relief. It does not fix nerve damage. It does not fix movement dysfunction or posture. It only alters pain perception. Okay, so this is super important, obviously, to make note of that. So how does it help with back pain and sciatica? Well, as I mentioned, it's going to reduce your nerve pain sensitivity, especially burning, tingling, and shooting pain specifically. It can improve sleep, obviously, which helps the body recover from chronic back pain. And it's often prescribed when other pain medication don't work, or you have like nerve related pain. So like if other medications haven't worked on that, they'll now go to amitriptyline. But again, as a reminder, it doesn't fix the root cause of your pain. It just makes it feel less intense. All right. And that is super important to remember, right? If you're taking the med, it is indeed, you may feel like $1,000,000 when you're on it, but it has not fixed the problem. It's just masking it, right? So just remember that. So here's the problem with amitriptyline. As I mentioned, it doesn't heal the cause of pain. It only masks the symptoms. There are side effects, and the common ones are drowsiness, hence why it probably helps you with sleep, brain fog, dry mouth, dizziness, weight gain, for example. It does have a sedative effect, which can leave you feeling sluggish or unmotivated. And if you stop it suddenly, it can lead to withdrawal symptoms and increased nerve pain, right? So if you get reliant on it, you could be stuck in that cycle where you're like, oh man, I got to take this all the time. So in this case here, obviously these chemicals, they affect different hormones in your body, and as a result of that, they dampen the pain signals, right? Well, your nervous system also holds the key to this, okay? Because pain reception isn't just about the injury, right? When we're thinking about perception of pain, our feeling of pain, we know that when we take drugs, well, the pain goes down, right? So we know that pain can be managed, for lack of a better term. We know that you by taking an external thing can affect pain, okay? And that's super important. But it's about how your nervous system reacts to it. That's the thing, right? So it's not just about the injury. It is truly about how your nervous system reacts to it. And just keep that in mind, right? And so when we're thinking about this, many people may have heard about this, and probably a lot of people haven't, the vagus nerve. So it's your body's built-in pain regulator. Okay, so there's certain things that you can do that are going to help modulate the vagus nerve in a way that changes the way that you actually react to pain. Okay, so there are certain things like hot and cold therapy. If you do those things like cold plunging or sauning, for example, this can activate the system in helping regulate the pain naturally. Okay. Now, sauna and cold therapy has its own challenges, so I don't recommend if you've never done it before to think that this is going to solve your problem, but it might be something that you can integrate into the holistic approach to healing your back pain. Just meaning that, hey, maybe these are things that can actually help you. Okay. Another big thing here is breath work. Breath work is truly a natural nervous system regulator. Hell, you can increase your pain sensitivity, meaning that you can feel more pain or be more alert with your breath. But it helps also if you do specific breath work that I'll talk about in a second. It can shift the nervous system from pain sensitive mode to a healing mode. All right, so think about that. Your breathing can actually start to down regulate your body. And that's crazy, right? Because when you think about this from a standpoint of like, okay, what's more of a long-term approach? What's something that I can do for the rest of my life to manage not only this chronic back pain, but get over it? Breath work is something that you can do, right? So there's a few different types of ones that I'll talk about. The big one here is diaphragmic breathing. So this is belly breathing. Okay, so belly breathing is one way to signal that the body is safe. Okay, it means that you know what, you can actually just breathe into your belly, put your hands on your belly, and just breathe into it. Okay, it's going to signal to the nervous system that it's safe. Another big one that can change the way that your physiological state is box breathing. So this is like the idea that you're going to like pick typically it's 4 seconds, but you can actually do it different times. But you'd say, for example, you'd breathe in for 4 seconds, and then you'd hold for 4 seconds. You'd breathe out for 4 seconds, and hold your breath for 4 seconds, and you'd breathe in for 4 seconds. You get the idea. And this can improve pain tolerance and stress resilience. All right. And then the biggest one here that's probably going to be the most impactful for you is extended exhales. So extended exhales would be something like you breathe in for 4 seconds, but you breathe out for 6 seconds. And this literally activates the vagus nerve and it reduces your pain sensitivity. Okay, like a long drawn out exhale will actually calm you down. And if you're in a lot of pain, it will truly bring the pain levels down. Right? This is facts. So you can give it a try. And so here's like an advanced skill that you can do. Advanced being it's going to provide a lot of relief, but it's quite easy to do. And it's 90-90 breathing. So this is just a simple way to calm your nervous system. And so let's just say you have a huge flare up and you're just like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to take the pain meds. I want you to try this before you take the pain meds. Okay. I want you to do this 90-90 breathing. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to lie on your back with your legs elevated. So like if this was like a chair or a back of a sofa, for example, or anything, you'd be on the ground and you'd put your feet up like this. Okay, so your feet would be like resting and the weight would be on the chair or the sofa. Okay, you can put something just under your head if you want. If you need to put something under your back, that's okay as well. Just find a comfortable position. Okay. And then what I want you to do is to breathe deeply into your belly, keeping your ribs and your chest relaxed. So you should feel those breaths into your belly. Put your hand on your belly and just feel it. Deep breaths. Okay, it's going to take pressure off your lower back. It's going to relieve any irritation, lower back irritation, nerve irritation that you have. And it really just encourages proper breathing mechanics. And of course, it activates the vagus nerve. Now, if you want to throw a bonus in there, what you can do is you can do long exhale breathing. Well, in that 90-90 position, right? Where you breathe in for 4 seconds, but then you do a long exhale, breathe out for 6 or 7 or 8 seconds and breathe into your stomach. I promise you, if you do this, you will see pain relief. And so if you're thinking about reaching to pain meds, I want you to give that a try. You can go YouTube it. There's stuff on YouTube about it, but give it a try before and see if you can actually reduce your pain. Because imagine if you find that this reduces your pain, right? Okay, next big thing, heat and cold exposure. I told you about this earlier. It can reset your nervous system, right? And so typically Heat therapy relaxes muscles. It can increase blood circulation. It can lower any sort of like tension that you have around the muscle. And then cold, on the other hand, things like cold showers, ice baths, they stimulate the vagus nerve, reducing nerve sensitivity. And your norepinephrine, which will actually go up, and they'll get like a big spike. And as we talked about with amitriptyline, that actually happens as well. And so by doing cold therapy, you could actually get some pain relief. Now, that said, I'm not telling you to go do this. You got to try it for yourself. Some people, cold is already like shock to the system, and if you go too cold, it can be a whole disaster. So I want you to look into this yourself. But things like sauna, you can give that a try and just see how it feels, and then go from there. Okay. The biggest missing piece for most people when it comes to solving their chronic pain, and rather than taking like amitriptyline, is literally movement and strength training, right? Because as we talked about before, amitriptyline doesn't fix weak muscles. It doesn't fix nerve imbalance. It doesn't fix poor movement patterns, right? It doesn't fix any of that stuff, right? When we think about movement, right, we have to fix the root cause of the problem. Why do you even have the pain in the first place? So yeah, you might need to take that pain med for a little bit, but you got to get off it as quickly as possible. You got to take control of your health. You got to be accountable to yourself, right? And so breath work is one way. You can incorporate saunas and cold plunges is another way. You can start doing 90-90 breathing, but the next big one is movement, right? We need to move. Movement, mindful movement, for example, builds confidence in pain-free motion. It calms the nervous system, right? So doing things that are low level intensity. A lot of people that have chronic back pain, they just go to work, they sit at their desk all day, and then after that, they're like, oh, I got to go to the gym, and they start pushing their body, right? But your body's all queued up, right? It's in that fight or flight, super sensitive to pain, and haven't even worked on like bringing the pain levels down, right? So I would encourage you to do that first, and then in a way you can do that, you can focus on somatic driven exercises, okay, and mobility drills, with the purpose to retrain the body to move without triggering pain. Okay, big time. I have a training on this. It's free. Just comment below this video if you're watching, and just say back pain, and I'll send you that training. I'll send you the link to it. Okay. Strength training obviously builds long-term resilience. It restores normal function. That's what we want. We want to get stronger, but we also don't want to trigger pain. And so this is why this is so important. You got to learn how to bring down your pain sensitivity. You got to learn how to work below your pain sensitivity so that you can get into that rest and recover state, so that you can actually build confidence in your body. Okay. And how do you do that? Well, developing mind-body connection, right? If you can start to learn how to move safely, what it'll do is you can actually teach your brain, that pain doesn't necessarily equal danger, right? If that makes sense. And so that's the key here, is like, you do not want every time you feel pain, all of a sudden you're all like flared up and you're scared, and then it just gets worse and worse. Okay. So again, amitriptyline is a temporary solution with side effects. Okay. Things like breath work, mindfulness, movement, the 90-90 breathing that I talked about, things like cold and hot therapy, those things are long-term relief. And again, they don't have harmful side effects, in a sense that you're not going to be reliant on them. You're going to be reliant on yourself to get better. And that's really what you want, right? You got to take back control of your life, and you got to take back control of your body, and you got to reconnect with your body. You don't need to numb the pain, right? And really, you want to train your nervous system to regulate pain naturally instead of relying on medication forever. Okay. So if you want to, start that journey of breaking free from all this, I have a free program. So you just have to comment back pain. I will send you my free program. It's going to teach you how to heal. It's going to allow you to take that first step towards healing. And it's my gift to you, so you can start the healing journey. Okay. That's all I got for today, and I'm out of here.